to lie, won't stop to lie, can't stop to lie, won't stop to lie, can't stop to lie, won't stop to lie, ain't no Chico, just be smooth.
Hey, welcome to TechDontSleep Podcast. It's your boy Bill McCleskey in the building. And as always, we have a special guest with us. And this guest is not only special, but they are valued because they are one of the sponsors, or the company that Chelsea represents is one of the sponsors of the podcast and some of the events that we're putting on. So I'd like to welcome Chelsea, Tambis. Woo! Yeah, give it up, of NEC. And so we're going to talk about UCaaS and CCaaS and just technology and how we can really utilize some of these platforms to work more productively in your businesses as entrepreneurs and business owners, and how to grow your business. As business owners, we always want to grow our business, and we think using technology to do that is awesome, and that's what this podcast is all about. So welcome. Thank you for being here. You are out of Dallas, Texas, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So I just want to dive right in because I really believe that you have an incredible story, and we're going to pull it out of you.
No.
We're going to pull it out of you, and we're going to have some fun, but I want to also offer some value. And let me just say this, like, if you're watching this on YouTube, y'all, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we're offering these nuggets, right, in different silos or different segments of IT to really help you grow your business and work efficiently. So Chelsea is a channel manager / account manager with NEC. And NEC has a long history, or just is an ancient company. I mean, it was over 100 years, right?
Yes, over 100 years.
So tell us kind of the background of NEC for those who don't know or are not familiar, and what the true focus is of the company.
Well, the company does a lot of things technology-wise. I mean, NEC itself, had like satellites, and I don't know if you read about like Hayabusa, but that came back like last year.
Yeah.
Like within from orbit, like back.
Wow.
It landed back into the air.
Satellites in space.
Yeah, it was like to collect like some samples. I believe it's like rocks or something. Mm-hmm. But came back. I would double check that. I just remember watching it on just like, hey, welcome Hayabusa back. So I just remember like watching that. But like we mentioned before, NEC, they have biometrics, they have, I'm in UCaaS, CCaaS, we have like backup as a service, disaster recovery, just everything that I say everything because it really encompasses a really broad, I feel like it hits everything. Throw a dart, it's gonna be like, oh, there's an NEC product for that. Yeah, and did the company start in Japan? Yes.
Or so it's based in Japan originally, but has a really big presence in the US.
They expanded. It's actually they're I knew them from Philippines too, because they have an office in Philippines, and that's how I recognized NEC as a brand. When I came here, they're not really heavy into marketing. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you see them, hey, NEC this, NEC that. You see them all over TV, all over. It's not like they're doing a lot of ads on the website, but it's just they already have that brand recognition, and that pretty much comes from like a cultural aspect of it, to where it's like, be humble. Like you're not like showy.
When you've been around for 100 years, you don't necessarily have to shout from the rooftops, hey, I'm here, because you have a presence and you've got credibility. Mm-hmm. We were talking yesterday with one of your colleagues, I think Jeremy, about the AI, I think it's people recognition.
Oh yeah, the facial recognition.
Facial recognition that you guys I thought that was pretty cool, but it's just interesting about how like big technology companies do so many things in technology, and we may know them as one thing. It's kind of like Amazon. We know Amazon is like the platform where you buy everything in the world, but they do so many other things. You know what I mean? So yeah. So your role as a channel manager is to work with independent companies like MitechPartners and to really help us to sell and engage customers and be a solution there. And I think primarily with UCaaS and CCaaS, right?
Yes.
Is that right?
UCaaS,
So explain to us because a lot of folks may not know, in technology, there's a ton of acronyms, right? Mm-hmm. So tell us what UCaaS means and what CCaaS means.
UCaaS means Unified Communications as a Service. Mm-hmm. And the reason it's called Unified Communications because it's not just your voice platform. Mm-hmm. It's going to have your instant messaging, video calls in there, file sharing. Mm-hmm. And pretty much any way you communicate with employees or even people outside of your organization, all done from one spot, from a single pane of glass. Yeah. Pretty much that's why it's called Unified Communications. It's all pretty together. Yeah. CCaaS is Contact Center as a Service. So instead of buying softwares, loading them up, you can just get licenses for Contact Center and it's in the cloud. You don't have to worry about having that with you within your office or you have to buy that software and loading it up. It's just per license. You know how back then you have to buy a disc every time you need something? Yeah. Well, it's just like, hey, if you have 5 people, buy 5 licenses. Right. And if tomorrow you have 2 more, just get 2 more. Right. It's very easy. It's efficient,
it's more scalable, and, not as clunky, so to speak. Talking about going back to unified communications as a service, when you look at all the features or services that are in one platform, I think it really helps, a business to streamline, the platforms that they're using or kind of unify, I guess is why it's called unified communications. But you talked about the voice service, right? And then you got instant messaging or virtual meeting and you got all of this stuff, file sharing. I mean, that's 4 different services right there. A business could potentially be using 4 different companies for all of that. Yeah. Because a lot of companies use Zoom, for virtual meeting, and they may use, Microsoft or Google for file sharing and somebody else for the phone service. So I think that's really cool. If you got everything in one platform, as you grow or scale your company, and it's more streamlined and simplified, for one price per user. Yes,
per user. And back, when you mentioned they're having different companies, that's also maybe 5 to 6 different applications that they have to touch every day just because, I have to send a chat. Okay, well, that's a different application. You got to get on your files, another application, just eliminates the craziness in your pretty much desktop, really. And not just more than your desktop, but even on your phone, you can do it out of your phone.
Definitely.
From a mobile app. So eliminates the need to have or just even switch back and forth between different window panes.
Yeah, productivity is key. So tell us though about CCaaS, contact center as a service. Why would a business, I can understand why a call center, small or big, would get CCaaS, but why would any other business get CCaaS, contact center?
So any other business, if you're a business, that means you have a customer. And
hopefully,
but that's what CCaaS helps. It's a lot of the times. I mean, I even say if you have a customer, you need CCaaS because it's not just like a call center. It's it's how you handle customer service. Okay. You can track calls straight over the grave. You can have more in-depth reporting from CCaaS application versus UCaaS. And that's just one of it. Now, if we have omni-channel CCaaS that can, respond to text messages, emails, maybe your website, you have an email on your website, someone sends an email and it would go to an agent. Same thing with a text. If you say, hey, text this number if you need help, that would go to an agent. And it's just a way for you to take care of your customers. And you don't need to have a lot of licenses or a lot of seats for CCaaS, even just one. I always say, if you're getting UCaaS, at least add one CCaaS.
So, quick question then. You're the example you just gave. If somebody has CCaaS, and let's say if somebody has a customer has a question, you say text this number. That goes directly to the agent or the user, right? That's using the CCaaS feature. Yes. Or let's say if somebody's on social media. Like Facebook on the Facebook page, and they send a message that can go directly to an agent.
Yeah, because that's also part of the omni-channel.
Okay.
Yeah, so it goes to an agent, and that's what we mean by the customer service and taking care of your customers and also your potential clients. you want to be accessible from them.
Sure.
And you want to be able to see all of that communication that, would happen with a contact center solution versus just the phone. Yeah, like with the UCAS, you can send messages still. It's not as, I don't want to say easy, but, it's not as robust than if you had a, contact center solution.
Yeah. So give us an idea of what the cost is, because, me being in the industry, I kind of know what the cost is, but for somebody that's not, it sounds kind of expensive. You know what I mean? Especially if it's taken up, if you're able to take all 4 or 5 features and put them in one platform, so to speak. Like, so what does the cost look like about?
Yeah, for UCAS, our licenses for the essentials about, I'm just gonna round it up to like $20 because it's like $19 and some odd cents.
Yeah.
But yeah, so $20 per user there, and you get everything that we mentioned: the video call, the file sharing, instant messaging, and
for $20 per user. That's
$20 per
crazy.
user, yes.
That includes the phone, right?
Yes, includes the phone.
That is amazing.
And we you get to pick your phone pretty much. I mean, we have like a list of 15 different phones you pick from.
Yeah.
So
I just thought about something. Like, I don't know how much is a Zoom license. Like, I think a Zoom license is $15.
And a lot of add-ons on top of that too. Like if you were to get.
Yeah, but I'm saying just a single person. Like, I mean, that's almost the cost of what you would get, like the video conferencing anyway, plus a phone line, plus file sharing. Plus, I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, so that's amazing. So how long you been working with NEC? 2
years with NEC.
Yeah.
So happy about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are you happy about it?
Because like I said, NEC, it's a known name. I known it growing up, and I remember when we first moved here, my father applied for NEC as well.
To work there?
Yeah, to work there. I don't know what happened. I just know he, ended up in like working for Nokia, but it's just one of those like, hey Dad, remember?
Yeah.
You remember this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so have you always been a channel manager in that role or account manager or no?
With my previous jobs as well, I was also a channel manager.
Okay, gotcha.
/ account manager, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and you travel all over the place, right? All over this kind of southeast or...
in the U.S. So we're like the central region. Like if you divide the U.S. into 3, I'm in the middle.
Okay, gotcha.
All the way up north.
So I think you have a really interesting story because you came here, I think at 10 years old from the Philippines, right? So you came here, you moved. Was it kind of a culture shock for you, like in integrating into school and all that?
Yes, because in Philippines, I mean, it was the city, obviously, but there's a lot of people. But when we moved here, it's the city, but it was open space.
Okay.
When we moved to Dallas, it was kind of like everyone drove everywhere. It was weird if you walked, and there's just a lot of space from just going from your house to the store where. Philippines, it's like less than a block away. I can walk and get something that I want.
Well, Texas is a big open flat.
It's just more distance between places and just more space. I think that's the biggest shock because something like that you would only see in a province in Philippines.
Okay.
And so when we moved here, I was kind of like, is this the province? Like, you don't want to be in the province.
The province in the U.S. in Texas. Yeah. So what made you guys move here? Like, why did the family move here?
My father had a job here.
Okay. So he got a job here. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And was it like the influence of your father that got you into kind of the technology industry?
I would say I think so because when even my brother and I when we were in college, he was just like, no, you're taking engineering class because that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say that. Like, nope.
Like I'm going into medicine. No, you're not. Yeah.
So I would say he influenced it a lot, and then also even when we were kids, we would ask like, "Hey, Dad, what do you do?" And he comes back with like all these cool gadgets, and you're like, "Oh, cool," And it's just, it's not like I made that my focus of, when I grow up, I'm definitely gonna be there.
Yeah.
I guess it just happened because it's so familiar.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. No, that's pretty cool because the environment or the culture that you grow up in can really have an impact on you. So you're pretty lucky. in that respect. My dad was an engineer, but I did not go into engineering. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to work with my dad. I was like, I don't think that's what I want to do. So tell me this then, where you've been working in technology for a while, a few years, you're pretty young, but a few years. And so where do you see technology going? And the reason I'm asking this is because I look at UCAS and CCAS and how that's kind of evolved over the last 5 to 10 years. And, you know, it's a big shift for a lot of people. You know, even to have phone service over the internet, right? Yeah. File sharing, all that type of stuff, video conferencing. Like, where are you able to see around the corner? Do you know some things that we don't know that you can share with us? But what do you see coming up technology-wise in this arena for UCAS and CCAS, like in the next 5 or 10 years?
So definitely they're going to be the cloud still. I think it's going to be like out of thin air by that point. Yeah. I think as far as like the features is what would change, like what you can do with the features. I know some maybe already have a type of encryption.
Okay.
You know, to the point where maybe what if everyone requires an encryption on everything now? Like, what are you going to? So, you know, just things like that, or it's kind of like your iPhone. It's like it's always been the same iPhone. Yeah. Really, if you think about it, but it's just like cool features adding in. You just build off of, you know, what they already have. Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. I just always wonder about that because I know 10 years ago, I don't think we could have imagined. I think we had Skype though 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, we did.
But it's just like the video conferencing wasn't as prevalent, you know what I mean, as it is now. And now, of course, you got FaceTime and all this other stuff. But that's pretty cool. So what's in the near future for you, like with NEC? Like, what's your role? Are you really just trying to help partners win, or?
Yes, we're
close deals or what?
Definitely. I mean, that's, you know, every like you said, everyone's going to the cloud, and you know, as maybe not everyone knows, but NEC traditionally has been an on-prem company. We had a lot of on-premise. So when businesses wanted a phone system, they had to shell out a lot of money just to have that equipment, you know, within their office. So our goal right now is just move them to the cloud and, you know, show the benefits of the cloud and how you don't have to spend thousands of dollars up front to have, you know, what everyone else gets. And it's important for small businesses because I think it puts them on an like even playing field with bigger businesses. And well, technology in general puts everyone at the same playing field because they're available to everybody. Yeah.
So what is the mindset shift that people need to make from on-prem to the cloud? Because I just wonder why, obviously NEC's been around for a while, and you know, people, like you said, they had to buy equipment, they had to buy phones and all this stuff, spend thousands of dollars to have a phone system. And now you don't even have to do that. Nope. $20 a user, right? You don't have to pay an install fee. I mean, that's crazy. However, there are still people who are like, nope, I want my phone system. I want this, you know, traditional phone service. So when you're out engaging customers or partners, like, what is the feedback that you're getting on why people can't necessarily make the shift to cloud? What's the pushback?
Funny thing is, whenever I've heard of pushback like that, the biggest was just like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. I hear that a lot. Or just like, oh, I'm old school, I don't do any of that. Yeah. And but you know, you have to adapt to survive. I mean, you is
that how you say it? You know, you have to adapt to survive, right?
Because I mean, you know, whenever COVID happened, I thought about all those, you know, customers that said, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. But then COVID happened, and you're like, well, you know, if you just had this in the first place, you would have been fine.
Yeah, nobody expects.
Yeah. So it was like, I feel like, you know, eventually, I mean, it doesn't just happen out of thin air. It's not like, oh, you know, we have this product just because. I mean, there's a need for it.
Sure.
And one of these days, you're going to see that need. You may not need it now, but eventually you will. And I think to keep an open mind to where, like, maybe you don't want it today, but don't say don't ever say, "Oh, I'm never going to do that," or "I am so against that," because your competitors are doing it.
Yeah.
You're being left out.
Back in the day, before everybody had a website, some people would say, "I don't need a website for my," why would I do that? I'm old school. And now it's like, if you don't have a website, like, are you really a business?
Real?
Right. But I think that, like, the thing that I've heard from some people is, hey, I spent, $5,000 or whatever. I spent so many thousands of dollars on this system. I need to get my use out of it. You know what I'm saying? The return on my investment or whatever. Which I guess, that's probably the most legitimate feedback that I've gotten. The fact that you're old school is irrelevant, right? But yeah, if you spent $10,000 on a phone system, I wouldn't want to switch it out next year either. We're using this joint, or at least try to sell it. But good luck with that,
And we saw that. We saw that need for that. So with our on-prem customers, we created what's called a bridge license, where they can keep their on-prem system, and they get best of both worlds. They still have.
So it's a hybrid, or
yes. Okay. It's like bridges. I don't know how to say that, but it's just so our on-prem, we have this license that we sell for. It's like a mobility client, and the way they connect that to the Univerge Blue, this one is pretty much the same thing. Instead of connecting it to the mobility client, they just connect it to here. So that's how, so they do get that accessibility of the Blue while using their PBX, their on-prem PBX.
Wow, that's cool.
And that's that's for NEC on-prem, because we do realize that if they just bought it last year, why get rid of it? So we have that to bridge them, and then by the time they want to upgrade their system, they can just move fully to the cloud.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So if you got NEC now, you're in a position to get a hybrid or the bridge client, right? To start that transition to the cloud. I am excited about talking about NEC to clients, and I think it's a great product. It is smooth and it's affordable. You know what I mean? So we want to make that happen. Is there anything else that we need to know or that we should know about NEC that we haven't talked about?
Well, watch out for backup as a service.
Is that coming, or is it?
Or is it? They've NEC has them. NEC has backup as a service. NEC has disaster recovery. But for I guess our side, for the channel side, they're obvious. They're gonna try to bring it into the cloud to where it's UCaaS, CCaaS, backup as a service. But
yeah. So that's not available now, though, right? Is that what you're saying, or is it going to be?
It is a product of NEC's. It's just not sold through like the agency type.
Okay, cool. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
So, but depending on what kind of partnership or other type of partnership you have with NEC, you can sell it. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Well, one of my biggest takeaways though is a small company, like you said, can now compete with the bigger companies because of technology. Yes. And at an affordable price. So you can really position yourself to respond to your clients in a simplified way, in a streamlined way, and you can appear to be this huge company. You know what I mean? That's what CCaaS helps.
Yeah, when people call, you got this auto attendant. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and you can really have good response time. So that's really cool. NEC puts you in a position to do that. And by the way, the product is called Univerge Blue. Yes. Right? Univerge Blue. Okay. And Univerge Blue, if you look at the website, it's going to show you the different things under that umbrella. So it's going to show you UCaaS, CCaaS, backup as a service, disaster recovery, What is the website? UnivergeBlue.com. Okay, so UnivergeBlue.com is the website. Okay. But guys, if you're listening to this and you want to get a demo of Univerge Blue, just reach out to us at MitechPartners.com. MitechPartners.com. Or call our number, or shoot us a text. You know what I mean? And we'll schedule a demo so that you can, with a specialist at NEC, so that you can understand how each of those features work and how they can work for your business. Chelsea, I appreciate you coming on, hanging out with us in Nashville. Last night, by the way, we were kicking it. in downtown at Pinewood Social. So we had some partners and some folks out.
That was fun. That was a great event. That was really amazing.
It was good. It was good. Good energy in the room and good food and all that good stuff. So where should we follow NEC on social media? Or just go to LinkedIn?
Just funny. I've actually asked that. I was like, do we just have a LinkedIn or can I do this on Twitter? Yes, we have Twitter.
Yeah,
we
Twitter
have Facebook. We have LinkedIn.
It's under Univerge Blue though, or
NEC. It's under NEC. Yes,
cool.
There's NEC America.
Okay. Okay. So don't worry about it. Just follow my tech, okay? And we will connect you. You know what I'm saying? I know that we've signed up a couple of customers with NEC recently. We've got some quotes out there, and I'm having these conversations, and it's actually really cool because we can explain how this service is going to help them work more efficiently and productively. Yes. So. Again, reach out to us if you want a demo and all that good stuff. Make sure you guys follow the podcast. I already mentioned that on YouTube. Go to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, and follow us there. And follow us on social media too. Tech Don't Sleep. And we got some cool stuff coming up, y'all. So stay tuned and engage. We appreciate y'all. Hey, most importantly, we're all about the events. You know what I'm saying? And we actually, because of NEC, we have another event coming up in March, So it's one of our speaker series events, and that's going to be dynamic. We're going to invite a ton of our partners out, customers, potential customers and partners. And the goal, again, we're always trying to add value to business owners, right? So we're going to have speakers to help you grow your business in terms of sales, in terms of marketing, in terms of technology. And the goal is for you to walk away with some tools to help you grow. And appreciate you guys for helping us put that event on. Hey, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you again, Chelsea, for joining us in the conversation. And we'll see y'all next time.
Happy Friday, Nashville.
Grind includes Friday. Holla.
Can't stop to lie. Won't stop to lie. Can't stop to lie. Won't stop to lie. Can't stop to lie. Won't stop to lie. Ain't no Chico. Just be smooth.